Beneath the surface of recorded history lie the echoes of lost civilizations.
Atlantis, because surely that wouldn't have been necessarily the name just through like the change of language, over, let's say 12, 13,000 years ago, which would be the time frame. So like surely there would be several different changes of language, but I think it represented a civilization that was doing great things. They were more global than what many people think would be possible. Atlantis was said to be a kingdom made up of, or an empire, made up of 10 kingdoms. And then there was the lost city of Atlantis, which was the capital.
Thousands of miles from here, off the coast of Japan, some believe they have found evidence of another lost kingdom.
Their stories buried in the sands of time, waiting to be uncovered. Once bustling with life, these ancient societies have petered out of existence, leaving only misty clues of their existence in their wake. The enigmatic builders of the Great Pyramids, the once thriving cities now entombed beneath dense jungles, and the underwater ruins off distant coasts all whisper of a grandeur that has long since faded. These civilizations, often surpassing their contemporaries' technological and cultural achievements, challenge our understanding of what once was. What secrets are locked within the submerged ruins near Japan, crafted by unknown hands in a forgotten age? Igniting fire within our imaginations, they invite us to explore the unknown and question the very nature of existence. Let us unearth their remnants and piece together their stories as we connect with the ancient past that reminds us that even the mightiest empires can fall, leaving behind a legacy that transcends time.
When did they think Atlantis was?
11,600 is allegedly when it was destroyed, which mirrors the Younger Dryas climate catastrophe.
Number 1. Ancient Japanese Atlantis.
A team from Bermuda Triangle into cursed waters has discovered what appears to be man-made monolithic rock.
Beneath the stormy waters and mysterious disappearances of the Bermuda Triangle, about 500 feet below the water's surface, lies the lost city of Yamatai, about 20,000 years old, which was discovered by pure chance. You see, the site was located in a popular diving location due to its large population of hammerhead sharks. In 1986, while seeking to observe the sharks, Kihachiro Aratake, a director of the Yonaguni-cho Tourism Association, noticed some seabed formations resembling architectural structures. Shortly thereafter, a group of scientists descended on the formations and started exploring. Though controversial, the cut-stone structures formed distinct shapes, leaving some researchers convinced that this is the fabled lost city.
Somebody built it there, and sea levels rose enough that it got submerged.
Many civilizations were wiped off the face of the world when the water levels rose, and this could have been Yamatai's fate too. There are stone pagodas, beautifully carved statues that seem too perfect to be formed by nature. Whispers of a legendary queen named Himiko and mystical relics resonate through silence, suggesting a forgotten connection between empires. As explorers and historians struggle with this discovery, the submerged Yamatai tells a tale of the secrets buried in its depths. Number 2. Mount Nemrut. This is one of an ancient kingdom's most lasting visible remains, located on Mount Nemrut. This 2,000-year-old sanctuary was dedicated by King Antiochus I, Theos of Commagene, who had passed through human civilization from 6934 BC to a number of Greco-Iranian deities and himself. Of course, one is left wondering about Commagene. Commagene was an ancient Greco-Iranian kingdom ruled by a branch of the Iranian Orontid dynasty that had ruled over Armenia and had been deeply influenced by the Greeks. Judging from the little knowledge available about the region of Commagene, it existed before the beginning of the 2nd century BC. There's little evidence which remains of its existence, but it does tell us that Commagene formed part of a more significant state that also included the Kingdom of Sophene. Number 3. Longyu Caves. These are the Longyu Caves, a group of 24 artificial sandstone caverns located at Fenghuang Hill, near the village of Xianbeikun in the Zhejiang province, China. They were discovered accidentally in the year 1992 by a farmer named Wu Anai while he was pumping water from a pond. It was a series of 24 huge, hand-built sandstone caverns. The network of tunnels are remnants of a magnificent and rare ancient underground world that is believed to be the 9th wonder of the ancient world in China. Thought to date back at least 2,000 years, these caves represent one of the largest underground excavations dating back to ancient times. They are a source of great mystery that has perplexed experts from every discipline that has examined them. Their origin and time of creation are completely unknown, and what's even more surprising is the definite machine-like markings on the stone left by whatever tools were used by the workers. It is believed that the caves were created by an ancient civilization that existed before recorded history. Number 4. Lycian Civilization. Nestled in the rugged hills of ancient Anatolia, the Lycian civilization dazzled with its mystical charm. Imagine the Lycians, who existed between the 15th and 4th centuries BCE, leaving their stories embedded into rock-cut tombs and ancient city ruins to be found by us. Lycia is unarguably one of the oldest civilizations in Anatolia's history. Despite the many misunderstandings and misinformation about it, it was not an offshoot of the Greek or Roman civilization, but a civilization created entirely by the peoples of Anatolia. It is hard to believe from looking at Anatolia that it birthed an entire civilization, but its existence is confirmed from its mentions in ancient records. The earliest historical mentions of the Lycian civilization are found in Egyptian and Hittite documents, and these traces left behind echoed the grandeur of its courts. Number 5. Dwarka, City of Krishna. Dwarka or Davaka, which means having many gates, was a historic city mentioned in the sacred literature of Hinduism, Jainism, and Buddhism. It was always relegated as a fanciful figment of the imagination. It was said to have been built around 2,500 years ago in the state of Gujarat. This city belonged to the Hindu god Krishna and sparkles between myth and history. Built by Vishwakarma, the divine architect, it was a kingdom of gold, jewels, and endless wonders. Krishna ruled here with unmatched wisdom, and the streets were filled with gleaming chariots and joyous celebrations. The search for this city began in the 1930s, but all things must end. As Krishna's time on Earth came to an end, the ocean rose, and Dwarka city was swallowed by the sea and lost to the world. Beneath the waves, the town remains an underwater treasure of temples and streets preserved by the ocean's embrace. The findings and research of Dr. S.R. Rao are worth mentioning in this regard. Number 6. Plato's Atlantis. This is the Eye of Sahara, which many archaeologists claim could be real evidence of the lost city of Atlantis. This Atlantis is different from that found under the waters in Japan, though. This Atlantis refers to a fictional island mentioned in Plato's works Timaeus and Critias as part of an allegory on the hubris of nations. Plato went into great detail to describe this utopian city as a naval empire that ruled all western parts of the known world. According to Plato's story, Atlantis falls out of favor with the deities and is plunged into the Atlantic Ocean as punishment by the gods after an ill-fated attempt to conquer ancient Athens. Despite the scientific explanation of the structure from geology and archaeology, some still claim it corresponds perfectly with Plato's depiction of Atlantis because of its circular structure. Number 7. Taos Pueblo. In the heart of northern New Mexico, the Taos Pueblo civilization was constructed between 1000 and 1450 AD, and these are its remains. This ancient pueblo belongs to a Taos-speaking Native American tribe of Puebloan people. It is located about 1 mile north of the modern city of Taos, New Mexico. Nestled within these high mountains, the pueblo stands as a labyrinth of adobe dwellings, their sun-baked walls telling tales of ancient wisdom. With its origin dating back over a millennium, it is a testament to the Taos people who practiced the art of communal living, crafting a society that depended on agriculture and spiritual rituals. Number 8. The Guanches mummies of the Canary Islands. Imagine wandering through the Canary Islands and discovering ancient mummies lying in the ghostly depths of man-carved caves. These caves are located near the Atlantic Ocean, some 60 miles to the west of modern Morocco and the North African coast. The walls of the caves were decorated with symbols and painted designs, and 2 6-foot-tall Guanche mummies were found wrapped in grave clothes, perfectly preserved by the dry air, as if silent guardians of a forgotten world. The Guanche were the indigenous inhabitants of the Spanish Canary Islands. They had their own culture, and their language survived till the 17th century, but was lost to time when the Europeans arrived. It is believed that the Guanche may have arrived at the archipelago sometime in the 1st millennium BC. While some legends suggest they could even have been the surviving inhabitants of Atlantis, the truth is that their true origins have baffled archaeologists. Number 9. Palmyra, Syria. Within the Syrian desert, the ruins of Palmyra city stand as a silent reminder of a once great civilization. Palmyra was built by King Solomon of Israel during the 3rd millennium BC. Palmyra contains the monumental ruins of a great city that was one of the most important cultural centers of the ancient world, dating back from the 1st to the 2nd century. It became a significant trading post on the Silk Road, where traders met from all over the world, bringing treasures and stories from distant lands. The tall stone columns, now worn and broken, tell the story of a city that thrived under the rule of Queen Zenobia, who dared to challenge the mighty Roman Empire. Today, only the winds blow through the empty streets. The sun casts long shadows on the crumbling walls, holding on to the glory that once was. Though much of Palmyra has been lost to time, the ancient stones still hold the signs of this proud civilization. Number 10. The Azores. The Azores, a formation of mist-covered islands in the Atlantic, may have been the home of an ancient, lost civilization. They were discovered by the Portuguese explorers in 1427, whereas the Vikings actually found them as much as 700 years earlier. Imagine stone temples rising from the volcanic earth, their walls decorated with mysterious symbols. The people who lived here were said to be masters of the sea, navigating vast waters and reading the stars to guide their way. Legends tell of their ability to control the island's energy, drawing strength from the earth itself. But they vanished, leaving behind strange carvings on the rocks. Were they real, or just a myth spun by time? Number 11. The ancient Minoans. The mighty Minoans came into existence on the island of Crete in the Mediterranean Sea. They survived from 3000 BCE to 1100 BCE. This civilization is said to be the first literate society in Europe, with its Linear A script. The origins of the language they represent are not clear, but they are thought to be distinct from early Greek. Minoan Crete is the center of many Greek legends centered around labyrinths and minotaurs. Instead, the traces of their grand palaces were decorated with strange paintings of bulls and graceful dancers. The Minoans worshipped in sacred caves where offerings to gods were made. The Minoans declined due to a volcanic eruption, and though their civilization eventually faded, the Minoans left behind a legacy of beauty and mystery etched in stone and sea. Number 12, the Assyrian Empire. Assyria was a major ancient Mesopotamian civilization that existed as a city-state from the 21st century BC to the 14th century BC. Though it started off as a significant regional power in Mesopotamia in the second millennium BCE, it grew in size and stature in the first millennium BCE, becoming one of the world's earliest empires. Its remnants can still be found in the northern part of Mesopotamia, now found in modern-day Iraq, parts of Iran, Kuwait, Syria, and Turkey. Number 13, the Phrygian Empire. The ancient city of Elengubu, known today as Derinkuyu, burrows more than 85 kilometers below the surface soil of Cappadocia, spread over 18 levels of tunnels. It is the largest excavated underground city in the world, encompassing a maze of cave homes and proof of a long-lost civilization. This underground city was likely built by Phrygian architects of the Iron Age, who were highly skilled and had the means to construct elaborate underground facilities. Who were Phrygians, you ask? They were one of Anatolia's most respected early empires, which had developed across western Anatolia around the end of the first millennium BCE. They were experts in etching rock formations and rock-cut facades. Though elusive, the traces of that empire still remain, with their kingdom spread to include most of western and central Anatolia, including the area of Derinkuyu. Number 14, the Great Mayans. This civilization takes us to the dense jungles of South America, where the ruins of one of the most prominent classical cities, Maya, lie. The Mayan era began around 1500 BCE and ended around 900 CE, around 800 AD. The Mayans are famous for measuring time by following the passage of the sun, moon, and stars, as in astronomy, and were able to create the solar, religious, and long calendar. The Mayans were known to be violent and tried to capture prisoners for enslavement and prestige from neighboring city-states. They were also known for their rituals and sacrifices. They did not bury the dead in graveyards, but buried them in walls and the floors of their homes. Unfortunately, this civilization diminished due to drought, diseases, and warfare, with the Spanish finally defeating the last Maya kingdom in 1697. Number 15, Nan Madol. In the Micronesian heart of the Pacific Ocean lies the island city of Nan Madol. These ruins belong to structures built between 1200 and 1500 CE. Nan Madol covers an area of 7 square miles, consisting of remains of stone palaces, temples, tombs, and houses. Built with precision from dark basalt, this sunken city spreads across a network of tranquil canals. The leftovers of walls and structures tell long tales of a people's loss to history. The ruins are camouflaged by mangroves, which makes it difficult to assess the actual area of the ruins. Nan Madol's quiet majesty invites exploration, holding within its ancient walls the secrets and mysteries of lost times. Number 16, Daskalio. An ancient sanctuary on a Greek island yields clues to one of the region's first urban centers. Located within the Aegean Sea, this small Greek island holds the key to an ancient mystery. You see, 4,000 years ago, Daskalio was a headland connected to its larger neighbor, the island of Keros. Long ago, people came here not just to pray, but to connect with the gods, strangely bringing their intentionally broken statues, 500 stone discs, and 700 white pebbles, a bizarre collection. Yet no one knows why this place became home to worship and how it became sacred. Excavation revealed the true scope of its significance, bringing to light traces of a large Bronze Age settlement. After 10 years of meticulous digging, scientists found evidence of advanced metalworking workshops there, dating from 2500 BCE. These are features of a very advanced yet ancient civilization, but exactly which one remains a mystery. Number 17. Ancient Rome. Ancient Rome began as a small Italian settlement, traditionally dated to 753 BC, beside the river Tiber in the Italian peninsula. The settlement grew into the city and polity of Rome, taking on the shape of an empire that represented the Roman civilization. It gained so much power that it came to control its neighbors through a combination of treaties and military strength. The Romans were a civilization of constant evolution, surviving for over 1,000 years and conquering various cultures. The city had marble temples standing tall over busy markets, the streets full of life, with chariots racing and the gladiators fighting in the Colosseum. Today, the residue of this once mighty civilization still remains visible in multiple parts of the world, even though its power base has shrunk and shriveled away to be assimilated by its surrounding cultures. Number 18. The Sumerians. In southern Mesopotamia, the Sumerians appeared like stars in a new dawn between 4100–1750 BCE, etching their destiny in stone by conquering Babylonia. In their land between the Tigris and Euphrates, they crafted imaginative wonders with their innovations. Imagine towering ziggurats reaching the heavens and scribes carved cones on clay tablets like ancient magic. These people mastered farming and trade, building vibrant cities like Uruk, filled with lively markets and grand temples. Besides the leftovers of their towns, we find in ruins that the Sumerians gave us the wheel, the first laws, and a calendar that connected the stars with daily life. Number 19. Ancient city Taxila. This is Taxila city, boasting ancient history with its prehistoric mound of Saraikala, which represents the earliest settlement of Taxila, with evidence of Neolithic, Bronze Age, and Iron Age occupation. The Pier Mound is the earliest historic city of Taxila and was probably founded in the 5th century BC by the Achaemenians. Located in the heart of Pakistan, the city of Taxila was known as the center of learning and culture. Taxila was an important Buddhist center from the 5th century BC to the 6th century AD. According to historical records, at least what's known of it, scholars and travelers from distant lands used to gather here to share knowledge, where the teachings of Buddha shaped minds and history was being made. The ruins of Taxila are a witness to its glorious past, with the broken walls and ancient pathways hinting at a time when the city was alive with trade, art, and religion. Number 20. The Anasazi. In the sun-kissed heart of the American Southwest, the ancestors of the land, often known as the Anasazi, wove their story into the very fabric of the desert. This civilization may be the ancestors of modern Pueblo Indians. From the enigmatic cliff houses of Mesa Verde to the majestic stone cities of Chaco Canyon, these ancient architects produced marvels that still surprise modern minds. Their intricate kivas, ceremonial chambers hidden within the earth, whispered secrets and spiritual rites. Among the maze-like ruins, rock art speaks of heavenly journeys and mythical beings, a testament to a society where the sacred and the everyday danced in harmony. In this complex society, the Anasazi mastered agriculture in harsh environments, building a legacy that spread through the ages. Their vanished cities, carved onto the rocks and sand, remain a haunting testament to their unique spirit and originality. Number 21. Mohenjo-Daro. These ruins of an ancient city sit on elevated ground in the modern-day Larkana district of Sindh province in Pakistan. This is Mohenjo-Daro, the ruins of the great Indus civilization. The traces show a well-planned street grid with an elaborate drainage system. These are proof that the occupants of the ancient Indus civilization city of Mohenjo-Daro were skilled urban planners with unparalleled expertise in controlling water. During its heyday from about 2500 to 1900 BC, the city spread over about 250 acres of land on a series of mounds, which was among the most important to the Indus civilization. But just who occupied the ancient city in modern-day Pakistan during the 3rd millennium BC remains a puzzle. Number 22. Achaemenid Empire. Persepolis is an ancient capital of the kings of the Achaemenian dynasty of Iran and is located about 30 miles northeast of Shiraz in the Fars region of southwestern Iran. The Achaemenid Empire is also known as the First Persian Empire. This empire was established by Cyrus the Great of the Achaemenid dynasty in 550 BC. It grew to become the largest empire, spanning a total of 2.1 million square miles. As its power ran its course, its might was challenged by the newly emerging Ottoman Empire, and the great empire of Persia dwindled to its present national status of Iran. As we draw the curtain on the tales of lost civilizations, their echoes still dance in the shadows of history. These once thriving realms vanished from the face of the earth, leaving behind a legacy of wonder and enigma. From the mythical grandeur of Atlantis to the elusive treasures of the Dadanite and Lihyanite civilizations, each diminished society contributes its own chapter to the grand story of human heritage. In the resonance of their past lies a roadmap for our future. Until our paths cross again in the pages of history's hidden chapters, let us know which civilization tantalized your senses the most.